The rain poured heavily over the city, drenching everything in its path. It was one of those nights when the world seemed to slow down, and people sought shelter indoors. Brian, a 22-year-old African delivery boy, adjusted his hoodie and rushed through the wet streets, holding a package tightly in his hands. His destination was an upscale apartment complex, the kind of place where the wealthy lived, far from the world he knew. He pressed the buzzer, waiting impatiently, his breath visible in the cold air. A soft yet firm voice responded. "Who is it?" "Delivery, for Mrs. Charlotte." A few seconds later, the door unlocked with a buzz, and Brian stepped inside, shaking off the rain. As he reached the penthouse, the door opened to reveal Charlotte, a 47-year-old woman with striking features, high cheekbones, piercing green eyes, and an aura of elegance. She wore a silk robe, loosely tied, revealing her toned legs and the hint of a luxurious nightgown beneath. Brian swallowed hard. He had seen beautiful women before, but something about her confidence, her grace, made his heartbeat quicken. "You're drenched," Charlotte observed, her eyes scanning him with curiosity. "Come in before you catch a cold." Brian hesitated. It wasn't professional to step inside a customer's home, but the warmth of the apartment was tempting. As he walked in, the scent of jasmine filled his senses. Charlotte handed him a towel. "Dry yourself. No need to rush back out into that storm." "Thank you, ma'am," Brian muttered, rubbing his hair. "Ma'am?" she smirked, pouring a glass of wine. "You make me sound old." Brian chuckled nervously. "Sorry, Miss Charlotte." She handed him the wine, her fingers brushing his. The brief touch sent an unexpected jolt through him. Their eyes met, and for a moment neither spoke. "You're quite young," she said, sipping her wine. "Still in college?" "Yes, studying business," he replied. "Smart and hardworking," she mused. "You remind me of someone I used to know." The way she looked at him made Brian's stomach tighten. This wasn't just small talk, there was something deeper in her gaze. The minutes stretched into an hour. Their conversation flowed effortlessly. Laughter filled the space, and the tension between them grew thick. "Have you ever been with an older woman?" Charlotte asked suddenly, her tone playful yet serious. Brian nearly choked on his wine. No." She set down her glass and stood up, walking towards him. The air crackled with anticipation. "There's a certain charm in youth," she whispered, standing close enough for him to feel her warmth, "and an undeniable allure in experience." Brian's heart pounded. He knew he should leave, but his feet remained rooted to the floor. Charlotte reached out, tracing a finger along his jawline. "Tell me, Brian, do you believe in living without regrets?" His breathing grew heavy. His mind screamed at him to step away, but his body refused to listen. I don't know," he admitted. She smiled a slow, knowing smile and leaned in. Their lips hovered inches apart. And then, the sun peeked through the curtains, casting a golden hue over the room. Brian blinked, his mind hazy. His body ached in a way that felt both foreign and exhilarating. Beside him, Charlotte lay curled up, her breathing soft and steady. The memories of the night before rushed back, whispers, touches, stolen moments of passion. Reality hit him like a wave. What had he done? He sat up, rubbing his face. This was more than just a one-time mistake. He had crossed a line he never imagined crossing. Charlotte stirred, stretching lazily before opening her eyes. "Regretting it already?" Brian looked at her, his emotions a tangled mess. "I don't know." She reached for his hand. "Then don't think. Just feel." But how could he not think? Because outside this bubble of warmth and stolen passion, the real world awaited, and it wouldn't be kind. 24:03, 4:31 p.m., Butterfly. Brian dressed quickly, his mind racing. The morning light made everything feel more real. Too real. He had spent the night with a woman more than twice his age, a woman who exuded power and sophistication. Charlotte sat up, draping the silk sheet over herself, watching him with amusement. "You look like you're about to run." Brian hesitated, gripping his hoodie. This wasn't supposed to happen. Charlotte chuckled softly, sipping the wine left from last night. "Why not? You're young, handsome, And I'm, well, not exactly inexperienced. Brian swallowed hard. The problem wasn't what had happened, it was the after. Would this remain a secret night of passion, or was it something more dangerous? Charlotte stood up, walking toward him. Even in the morning light, she looked stunning. Listen, Brian, she murmured, running her fingers down his chest. No strings. No expectations. Just pleasure. Unless you want more? His body ached for her again, but his mind screamed for control. I need to go, he muttered. She smiled knowingly. I won't stop you. But if you ever want to come back, she reached for his phone and typed something. That's my number. Brian's fingers tightened around the phone as he left, stepping into the cold morning air. His world had changed overnight. Days passed, but Brian couldn't stop thinking about Charlotte. Her touch, her voice, her confidence. At work, he struggled to focus. Even during classes, his mind drifted back to that night. His friends noticed. You good, man? His best friend, Dwayne, asked. You've been spacing out a lot. Brian forced a smile. Just tired. He couldn't tell them. They wouldn't understand. That night, as he lay in bed, he stared at his phone. Charlotte's number. Should I call her? Temptation gnawed at him. He knew this was dangerous. She was older, rich, and lived in a world he didn't belong to. But his fingers moved on their own. Dialing. Brian. Charlotte's smooth voice answered after 2 rings. His heart pounded. Hey. I was wondering when you'd call, she teased. I don't know why I did, he admitted. Liar, she whispered. You know exactly why. Silence stretched between them, thick with tension. Come over, she finally said. Brian exhaled. He should say no. He should delete her number and move on. But instead, he grabbed his keys and headed out. Charlotte greeted him in a black satin dress, her eyes gleaming with mischief. I had a feeling you couldn't resist. Brian's throat went dry. I don't know what this is. She stepped closer, trailing a finger along his jaw. Does it matter? He gave in. The next few weeks were a blur, stolen nights, whispered secrets, a passion unlike anything he had ever known. But the more he fell into her world, the harder it became to leave. And he had no idea how dangerous this affair would become. 24:03, 4:32 p.m., Butterfly. Brian's world had become a whirlwind of secrecy and passion. Every night, he found himself back in Charlotte's arms, losing himself in the thrill of their forbidden affair. But deep down, he knew it couldn't last forever. One evening, as he lay beside her, she traced circles on his chest. You've changed, she murmured. How? He asked. You're thinking too much. You used to just feel. Charlotte had been an experience, a chapter in his life. But now, it was time to turn the page.